Welcome to the Effortless English Show with the world's #1 English teacher, AJ Hogue, where AJ's more than 40 million students worldwide finally learn English once and for all, without the boring textbooks, classrooms, and grammar drills. Here's AJ with a quick piece to help you learn to speak fluent English effortlessly.
I'm AJ Hogue, the author of Effortless English. Learn to speak English like a native. Become a VIP member. VIP members. This weekend we have our live teleseminar. This is only VIP members. We will talk, you and I. Mostly you. You know, most of the time on the show, in my podcast, in my lessons, you listen to me. I talk and I talk and I talk. So during our special VIP teleseminars, I let you talk. So mostly I let you talk because I get to hear you speak, and it's quite nice to hear other members speaking. You guys are good speakers, and if you're nervous, don't worry. Okay, you don't need to be perfect. Don't worry if you make a mistake. So anyway, VIP members, I will talk to you this weekend. Join my VIP program at effortlessenglishclub.com. Commit to my VIP program. Go to the website, effortlessenglishclub.com. And I'm happy we're doing these again, back to our live VIP kind of online meetings. This will not be the last one. If you miss this one, don't worry, relax. Plan to do these again. We'll do it again next month, and finally getting these going again, which is great. So it's another reason to join my VIP program, in fact. So commit to my VIP program, and you speak English fluently, powerfully, confidently. You speak English effortlessly, but you must commit, you must join, you must commit to my VIP program at effortlessenglishclub.com. All right, I'm early today for the live show because I've missed several days this week. We have a baby who's sick, unfortunately, so she wasn't able to sleep, and anyway, it's just thrown our whole schedule out. This just happens, and with twins, it happens twice as much. So anyway, I decided now I have a chance, so I'll just go ahead and do the show now. I think I'm going to do this for a while, just do the show when I have time, probably earlier in the day for me, and maybe we get back to the old schedule later. I'll just do them when I can do them. Our topic, make money, get aggressive, no fear. Make money, get aggressive, no fear. I've decided I'm going to, two things. I'm going to talk more about money topics, job topics, work topics, business English topics during the next, let's say 2 months, 2 or 3 months, for the rest of the summer. And I've decided probably beginning September, I'm going to do a special promotion for my business English course. I don't usually do this. Usually if I do a discount for a course or a promotion, I only do it one time when I first offer the course. After that, no discounts. But I'm going to do this because of the China virus, right? Because I know that this is kind of a special situation. The China virus, it doesn't matter if you think it's real or fake or exaggerated. It doesn't matter. Because the economic part, right? The economic problems are real. We all know those are real, right? We all know that a lot of people have lost jobs, that the economy dropped, hopefully coming back now, hopefully, rising again. But I know many of you are worried about money. Many of you are worried about jobs. So I think this right now is a very good time to focus on that topic. Not every show, but probably I'll do a lot of shows on that topic or those topics. And then, like I said, maybe beginning September, I'll offer some promotion for my business English course. Because my business English course, it teaches you business English, but just as importantly, it teaches you how to have a strong career, how to get a job, how to really get a job, not like most books teach you, which is a terrible way, but how to really search for a job, how to make a great resume, how to have a fantastic job interview, how to get a lot of job offers, not just one, how to get the job you really want, even if a lot of people want it, how to keep that job that you really love, and then how to move up in different jobs, different careers. You can move up in the same company, or you can move up, jumping to different companies. So that's what you learn in my business English course, and it is very, very powerful and effective. It's just strategies that I used myself before I started my own business, and they do work. They work very well. Other students have told me that they work very well, that they save their jobs, they save their careers because of that business English course. It's also at my website, by the way. So let's talk about it, because here's the thing. A lot of people are kind of passive about it, right? People are afraid. They're worried about the money situation. They're worried about losing their job. They don't know what's going to happen. Some of you maybe already you lost your job, or maybe your job is, you don't know, right? Right now you're not working and you're not sure, will you go back? So it doesn't help. It will not help you to be worried and to be afraid, to focus on that too much. Of course, it's natural to feel that way. Of course it is. That's always the first reaction. And it's totally fine. But you have to then push aside those feelings, push them to the side, and change your mindset, change your attitude. And that's what I'm talking about today is getting aggressive about making money. You're going to see this. People who start their own businesses, people who are very successful in their jobs, in their careers, they're aggressive. They don't wait. They don't wait for things to come to them. They go out hunting. They go out looking. They create opportunities. They find opportunities. They are very aggressive about making money. They're very aggressive about getting jobs. And you must become this way. Now, it's very important right now. There are millions of people around the world right now who are nervous, who are afraid, who are going to be looking for jobs also, who may be losing a job, who you are competing with possibly. The good news is most of them are nervous and afraid and kind of passive. So you've got to become aggressive. And this will help you so much. Just this attitude, just this change in your mindset, just this change in your attitude will make a big difference, okay? There's no point being afraid. You have nothing to fear, okay? You have nothing to fear. Just accept that the situation is bad, okay? So you have nothing to fear about being aggressive. There's nothing bad will happen to you if you become aggressive about getting a job, searching for jobs, contacting people. Let me tell you what I mean. Give you an example. What do most people do? They're very passive about looking for a job. Number one, most people wait too late. They wait too long. They wait until they lose their job. Then they look for a new one, right? That's a very passive, a very weak way to job search. Ideally, you don't want to do that. Ideally, you want to look for a job while you still have a job, right? You're looking for a better job. In fact, you want to always be doing this, kind of always looking for something better. Always, during your whole working life. Okay, this is being more aggressive because most people, they just wait, right? So they're working their normal job. Like right now, during this kind of Chinese virus thing, the China virus, they're not, they're just waiting. They're hoping they don't lose their job if they have one. Well, that's foolish, right? They're doing nothing else. They're just hoping. Hope is a bad strategy. It doesn't help you. Okay, it's nice. It's nice in some situations, but it's not going to help you. You've got to be more aggressive. So if you have a job now, that's great, but realize you might lose it. It's possible you could lose your job. So you should be looking for other possible jobs right now. So if you lose your job, you already know 5, 6, 8, 10 other opportunities, right? You won't be surprised. You won't be depressed. You'll already be looking. You'll already be sending out letters. You'll already be sending out resumes, CVs. Right? You're already doing that even if you have a job now. Even if you do still have a job now, you are still searching always sending out resumes, sending out cover letters. It's just part of your life. And when you do this, it means you always have possibilities. You're not limited. You don't need to fear so much. Okay, that's an aggressive mindset. It's very, very important. Also, the other thing people do that's very passive and it is when they're looking for a job, they only look, they look online. In the past, they used to look in newspapers. And they only look for job openings, like advertised job openings. Help wanted, help wanted. It seems logical, but actually it's also passive. It's too passive. A lot of jobs are not advertised. A lot of available jobs are not advertised. There might be a position at a company. It's not advertised. Why not? Why would it not be advertised? Well, sometimes it's not advertised because it just became open. It's a new position. Maybe somebody just left or someone was just fired. And they have not advertised it yet. They're planning to advertise it, but they're kind of waiting. Maybe they're looking inside their own company first, right? And they're going to see maybe we can hire someone inside our company. And if not, then we'll advertise. Well, if you contact them first, if you contact them, let's say right now, before they advertise, you might get the job with no competition, right? Before hundreds of letters and hundreds of resumes come to them, then you have a tough time, right? If you respond to an advertisement for a job, you are now competing against hundreds, possibly thousands of other people, all trying to get that same job. That is a very hard situation. It's very stressful, very competitive, very tough. But if you contact a company and you just, sometimes you get lucky. They have an opening, not advertised yet. You're the only one. You're the only one contacting them. You're ahead of everybody else. If they like you, they might hire you and never advertise. You get the job with no other competition or very little competition. It's far easier, more effective. So this is what I mean also about being aggressive. You should contact companies. It doesn't matter if they are advertising a job or not. You should be contacting companies and departments and managers where you want to work. You should constantly be doing this. Something else, if they don't have a job, let's say you always dreamed of working at, let's say IBM, right? The big computer company. You contact IBM, you contact a specific department, not the whole huge company. You've got to figure out which exact department where you want to work. Depends on the kind of job you want. Let's say you want to do marketing. So you contact, a IBM marketing department in your city or wherever. And they don't have a job yet, right? They say, I'm sorry, no job. We don't have any positions, nothing open. So what should you do? Should you say, just again, be passive? Oh, well, no. If you really want to work there, you should continue to write them back or talk to them on the phone, whatever, and tell them, I understand you have no job now. However, I very much want to work for you. So I would like to stay in contact with you. So if you have an opening in the future, please remember me. To remember you, you need to contact them. You might say, could I just have an interview with you, or just like a lunch, have lunch with you, the manager, just to talk to you about what you do. I know, and you tell them, be very clear. I know there's no job now, so I'm not trying to get a job right now, but I want to learn more. I hope to work for you someday. So maybe in the future, if you have a position open, I'll understand your company more. I'll understand what you're doing. So what are you doing? You're building connections. Of course, you do this with many companies, not just one. So that Maybe next month they have an open position. You already talked to them. You've already written to them. They have your resume. They know who you are. Guess what? They contact you. Oh, we have a position. A new position just came open. They're going to think about you first because you contacted them before. You made the effort. You were aggressive. This is thinking long term. You're thinking long term. You understand? Most people looking for a job, they only think right now. Is there an opening right now? Yes, no. If no, they just forget the company. They never talk to them again, right? But for good jobs at the really good companies that pay well, where you really want to work, you have to think long term by continuing to contact them, maybe even every few months. Maybe next year you get a job there. If working at IBM is your dream, well, you keep contacting them, you keep trying, you build the connection with one, maybe more than one person. You build connections with people at that company. So then maybe 1 year from now, they have an open position. Who are they going to think about? You. You have been contacting them, talking to them for a year. They're going to know you. Hopefully they like you. You have a very good chance then of getting that job, that really good job. And of course, not just wherever you want to work. Maybe it's IBM, maybe it's some other company. You understand. You'll do this with many companies, not just one. And you do this for your whole working life. So in this way, you always have these connections at all these different companies. You're always sending out your letters and your resumes. You're always in a great position to get a job anytime you need to. So if you lose your job, you pick up the phone and you start calling people, or you start sending letters to those same people again. You can get a job very quickly again. If you don't lose your job, maybe you just want to make more money. Maybe you just want to go to a better company. And when they have a position, they contact you. This is the really fun part, is when they contact you. You start to get calls, you get letters, and they want to talk to you. They want to interview you. This is thinking long term. And again, this is being aggressive. Constantly be doing this all the time. You should be doing it right now. And never stop. You should always, always, always be doing this while you're working, your whole working life. This will put you ahead of 99 plus % of people. Most people do not do any of this. This will give you a big, big advantage long term, and even short term. It will help you a lot. So you should be doing this now. Do this now. Get aggressive. You can also think about ways to make money. Little side things. You don't need to start a huge business and become a millionaire. If you could make an extra $1,000 a month just doing some little business. Maybe you sell, I don't know, you make something and you sell it on the weekends at some local market, and you make some extra money. So you've got that extra money coming. So again, less stress for money. If you lose your job, you still have your little business that's making some money. You can survive until you get a new job. Again, you got to be thinking, what can I do? What can I do? You get aggressive. You just try a lot of things. People ask me, what kind of business should I start? I don't know. You should try a lot of things. You don't even know. Nobody knows. So you have to do is you got to try something, and then try something else, and then try something else. Constantly trying new business ideas. Some will fail, but occasionally, sometimes, some will succeed. Maybe small success, but it doesn't matter. A couple small successes, you have some money coming in now. You're in a better situation financially. Okay, but again, this is looking forward. This is thinking long term, being aggressive. Don't wait. You're not waiting. You're not waiting to lose your job. You're not waiting for an advertisement about a job. You're not waiting for someone to tell you what business to start. You are taking action, aggressive all the time in many different ways. Not just one thing, but you're trying 2, 3, 4, 5 things constantly, contacting many companies, not just one. Trying many business ideas again and again and again. When you do this over time, you will succeed. You'll fail sometimes, but overall, in general, you will get more successful. You'll have more money. You'll have more safety, more security. You'll get job offers. Your whole career, your financial situation will be much, much, much better. So I encourage you right now, become aggressive, especially if you have a job now. Okay, we don't know what's going to happen the next 6 months. Is the economy going to crash down again? Will it go back up? Everything's fine. I don't know. You don't know. Nobody knows. But possibly it might drop a lot. The other thing is some areas like Europe, I think, is going down right now. Maybe it's going to have a huge crash. America's going back up. Will it continue to go up? I don't know. Will Europe continue to go down? I don't know. Nobody knows. So this is why you're always aggressive. It doesn't matter, right? You're aggressive when the times are good. You're aggressive when times are bad. And this will help you so that you don't need to fear because you're constantly taking action. You're ready. You're ready for good times. In the good times, you make lots of money and everything's great. In the bad times, you survive and you don't need to be afraid. So get aggressive and take action, and lots of action now. All right, I'll come in and take your comments and questions now. Okay, see this. I'll start in the bottom here. AJ says, you're completely right, AJ. Nowadays, we should have some little business for earning extra money. It helps us survive from being poor. Yeah, it can be anything, just something small. Almost like a hobby. If you're just bringing in a little extra money, it helps you, right? It just gives you a little, like insurance, a little safety. We say safety net in English. Like it'll catch you if you fall. It helps you just survive. So even some little business can be very helpful. It doesn't have to be big. All right, let's see. Funda says, AJ, are your parents also teachers? I think so. Actually, no. My mom, when I was a child, my mom just stayed at home. After that, she worked in a dentist office, like a dental assistant. She was an assistant to a dentist. And my dad actually worked at IBM. That's why I used that example. So he worked at IBM. So they were not... I'm the teacher in the family, I guess. Okay. Okay, Osman says you have to look around the city to find another job. Yep, you can look around the city. You can look, you can just, research, find the companies where you might want to work and contact them. Write them letters. You can call them on the phone. You can visit their office even. Khalid, thank you. Nice to see you too. Yeah, like Kind Guy says, the money matter is awful right now. It is potentially very bad for a lot of people right now. That's why I'm doing this topic and why I decided to really start talking about this topic right now, because a lot of people are very worried about this. So I want to help you guys. Okay, lots of people saying hi. Okay, I'm going to jump back down to the bottom here. Ong says, hi, AJ. I'm looking forward to the VIP chat. I am as well, Ong. Hopefully, I'll get the chat with you this weekend. That'd be nice. Very nice. I always enjoy it. Was it Pomka says, be careful between being aggressive and being annoying. Yeah, good point. You don't annoy them. That's why I'm saying you're not harassing them. There's a way to do it. Right. The way to be aggressive is that you're taking action. And if they say, oh, there's no job now, then you accept their answer. Don't say, oh, come on. That's annoying. Just say, okay, I understand that. Don't annoy them too much. Don't send them a letter every single day, for example. But maybe every 2 weeks, if they say there's no job, you might send them a letter once a month. And don't ask them for a job if they don't have a position. If they say they don't have a position, don't say, oh, please, please. That's annoying. Just say, okay, I understand that. But in the future, if you have a position, please remember me. And I'd like to learn a little more about your company, right? You just kind of you got to be gentle about it when they say no. If they don't say no, keep going. But yeah, you're right. There's a certain kind of middle way. But the overall, so for one company, right, you don't want to be too annoyed. You don't want to annoy them. But it's not just one company. So when I say be aggressive, you can contact 20 companies. That's very aggressive, right? If one says right now we don't have any jobs, nothing available now, yeah, don't annoy them, but also don't forget them. Maybe once a month, like I said, you send them one little short letter, include your resume all the time, just so in case they might throw it away. So always include your resume, your CV, and but keep it very short and simple. But then you keep contracting more and more and more. You're constantly doing this. It's a very, very aggressive approach. I promise you, this will be successful for you. If you do this for just a few months, you will have success. You will. Okay, let's see. Okay, hi AJ. I'm 19 years old. I'm not a student. I work free business. Sometimes I go abroad and leave my country because we have no future here. I work free. I'm not sure what you mean by free business. I guess are you an intern? It's not a bad thing to do, by the way. So being an intern, that's when you work at a company for no money, right? Like my first thought in the past when I was young, even now, the idea, work for no money, that's crazy. But yeah, again, you have to think long term. See, being an intern, what it means is so you work a company. It's a limited time, not forever, right? But maybe it's 6 months, like a 6-month internship. So you're working at a company for 6 months, no pay. So yeah, okay, it can be hard if you got to pay bills. But what it is, you think of it, it's like a job audition. Like you're trying out for the job, because if they like you after 6 months, there's a very good chance they will hire you and pay you. Way back when I was a social worker, for example, I got my favorite job, maybe the best job I ever had, that I didn't actually hate, was because of an internship. I was an intern for 6 months actually, 2 semesters, and working for free. But I was a student. And then afterwards, though, I loved the place and they liked me, so they offered me a full-time job at the end of the internship. So sometimes, if you can afford to do it, if you really think that a company might be great for you, doing an internship, working for free, is not a bad idea, especially when you're younger. It tends to be younger people who do it. But yes, internships are a very good idea. You can learn, you make really good connections because you're working there in the company. If you do a good job, there's a good chance they'll hire you. It requires extra effort, but it can get you some really good jobs. Okay, Aruna says, I'm a science teacher. I should prepare to teach extraordinarily to students. Good idea. Can you guide me a few tips how to prepare effectively without distraction? My friend Kenny's a science teacher. He's really good. I think you have to bring it alive, right? I'm not a science teacher, so I can only give you some general ideas. But in general, the main problem with all teaching in schools, any topic, doesn't matter, science, English, anything, is it's very passive. The students sit on their butts doing nothing, taking notes. The teacher, blah, 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 talks forever. And it's all just from a textbook. It's the same problem in every topic. So you have to bring science alive, right? Read Richard Feynman's book. Richard Feynman, kind kind of famous physicist. He talks a bit about science education in his book and basically how you need to bring it alive, get it into the real world. Science is about the real world. Science is about the natural world. It's not about a textbook. It's about if it's physics, right, then you should be connecting the real world physics with your students, not just formulas, right? If it's biology, you should be interacting with and looking at living things, right? That's my general thought on that. Working while studying is a great idea, asks BB. Yes, it's a very good idea. It's a fantastic idea. How much money does your company generate? I'm not going to give out my financial information of my company. Sorry. I want to buy your business lessons. I want to know how much. First of all, my business lessons are not about starting your own business. They're for jobs and careers. So my business English conversations course, it's on my website. It's about getting a job, resumes, cover letters, job interviews, getting a promotion. It's those things. It's not about how to build your own company. Because honestly, most people, they don't have the mindset to be an entrepreneur. That's just the truth. I think most people want to have a job and work for someone else. So that's what the lessons are about. I make plenty of money though. If you're wanting to start your own company, you should be reading books on marketing. And other things too, but that's the big one. Nassar says, if you want to be high status, all you need, find a way to trick people to get money as fast as possible. Be a thief. Yeah, I guess. I mean, I know you're joking, but it's a short-term mindset. Think long-term. Most people think short-term. They're only thinking like today and tomorrow. And that's why it causes many of their problems. If they just think a little farther ahead, especially with money and jobs and business, then they would not have those problems and they would have much more success. So forget getting rich quick. It's possible, but just think about being financially strong for your whole life, right? If you think long-term like that, you'll make good decisions and you will build that. It's much better. Have I already made $1 million? Yes. That's Douglas. Ilana Khan. Many people prefer not to be in charge of their fate. Yes, this is the truth. This is very true. I'm going to read this comment again. Ilana Khan says, many people prefer not to be in charge of their fate. It's easy to rely on bosses, companies, government. After that, easy to complain about how unfair they were treated. Yes, right. That's 100% true. That's, it's kind of bad news, but it's also good news. It's good news because when you are the master of your own life, right? In today we're talking about money. So when you're the master of your own money or your own learning or anything, then you will have great success eventually because most people are not going to do that. So the competition is weak. So you will do well. You will do well. Ranajit says, what do you think about freelancing? Excellent. It's great. Do it. Freelancing is kind of like in between. It's kind of like you're kind of like a entrepreneur. You work for yourself, but then you're also kind of doing a job for someone else. It's kind of in between. It works very well. A lot of people do well with freelancing. I'm a fan. Do it. Buffalo says, sorry, the comments just jumped. Let me try to find the comment again. Where is it? Okay. Buffalo says, Buffalo Sally says, I'm not worried about money. I'm super worried about my kids going to school next month. Homeschool. You know my answer to any question like this is I'm going to tell you, homeschool your kids, then you don't have to worry about it. Okay, Mai says, I failed to get a scholarship. Okay, sorry to hear that. And now I feel extremely bad. It's okay. I don't want to try anymore. I feel depressed. How can I overcome it? Okay, yeah, what's next? So you failed at this one thing to get a scholarship. So what's next? You just have to have plan B, plan C. We say, right? Plan A, your first plan was to get a scholarship. That failed, didn't happen. So what do you want in life? What do you want in life, right? And you got to find a way to do it. So the scholarship didn't work. So what's the next thing you want to try? And then you try something else. Like I said earlier, you're going to try many things. You don't just focus on one thing. If you only have one plan, that's dangerous. It's dangerous because yes, the one plan might fail. So you need 5, 10, 20 plans or ideas. So you try one. If it works, great. You wanted to get a scholarship. It didn't work. So what's the next thing? Try it. Try idea number 2. Maybe it will work. If it's successful, great. Maybe idea number 2 will also fail. What's idea number 3? What you should do is probably make a list of 10 things. 10 things you want to do. Scholarship was number 1. It failed. What's number 2? What's number 3? Number 4? Write out 10 more things you want to try. It might be getting a job somewhere. It might be going to school somewhere else. It might be, I don't know what it is, but 10, not just one. Okay? And try them all. One by one, try them all until you have a big success or even a small success. That's what you should do. Don't focus too much on just one thing. Okay, Shinji Yokoyama, Japanese, says, I'm thankful that I purchased your pronunciation course, which was a great deal. I've been working about a month. I'm feeling fantastic. Definitely going to be a great English speaker. Thanks a lot. Shinji, fantastic. Good for you. I know you're working hard. You guys always create the success. The courses are there, but you have to use them. You have to do the work. So Shinji, good luck to you. Keep working hard. I'm happy to hear you're having great success with the pronunciation course. Really, thank you for the comment. Amina says, how are your babies? They're doing okay. Doing fine now. It was a hard week. If someone wants to learn how to make money, I recommend they read Rich Dad, Poor Dad because it's useful. Yes, it is. I agree. It's a good book. Khalid Alawad says, how about online businesses, for example, Amazon or eBay? Or any other markets? There's no money to get into for new people. Yes, no, you can make money. Those are good little small, possibly big, I guess. But yes, you can make money. Those are just the markets. Those are not, like eBay is not a business. eBay is a market. It's a place you sell things. So the business is whatever you're making. And you don't have to only sell on eBay. There's, what's another one I use? Etsy. ETSY. People make things and sell on Etsy. So you could, if you make something that you want to sell, you can sell on Amazon and eBay and Etsy, right? You can try lots of different markets for your business. You could sell locally at a little market or something also. So yeah, just try it. Not sure I understand this. Mingma says, Mingma Sherpa, I'm not sure I understand your concern. Says, you said we need to be aggressive, contact to get a job, but I don't appreciate totally there's a fear of trust. You mean them? I'm not sure I understand. If you could kind of be more clear about what fear of trust, like what's the fear? What are you worried what bad thing are you worried might happen? Okay, Alaman Ali says, AJ, how to start a business as a beginner who has a small amount of money. Just start. If you have a small amount of money, of course, that limits the kind of business you can start. Service businesses are very good for this, right? Where you're providing some kind of service, right? Like making a product and selling it sometimes can cost more money, right? You have to make the product. Sometimes the process of making a product can be expensive. But if it's a service, it's something you do instead of something you make, usually that's free or very cheap. Like, I don't know, let's say you clean houses, right? It really costs almost no money. You can buy a vacuum or even just a mop and some cleaning supplies. It could be very, 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 very cheap. So you could start a service business like that, a house cleaning business, and you could just do it yourself in the beginning, no employees. And then if you become successful, you can grow, you can hire employees, you could stop doing it yourself eventually and just manage your employees, right? It could grow and grow. So service businesses, I think, can often be good for when you're doing something with very little amount of money to begin. Ong says, when it comes to money, there's Buddhist advice. Here's the advice. Divide your pay into 4 parts. Part 1, used however you want. Part 2, invested in your business. 2 parts, I'm sorry. 2 parts, invested in your business. And the last part, saved up for an emergency. Yes, awesome advice. Really good. So 25% to live on, do what you want. 50% you invest back into your own business. And 25% just save for an emergency. Great. That's fantastic. Really good system. Payam says, I see a lot of people participating in the stock market. They make huge amounts of money every day. Lots of them don't have any skill. What's your opinion on the stock market? I doubt that. I seriously doubt they're making huge amounts of money and they have no skill. If that's the case, they're lucky, and I guarantee they're going to lose a lot of money eventually. The stock market is not for people who don't have skill. It's a very dangerous. The stock market just crashed. I mean, I think it's back up in America pretty well. So I don't know. Be careful is what I would say. I do invest in stocks, but I'm very, very conservative. I'm looking just more to I'm looking for long-term, as safe as possible. But if they're making lots of money in a short time, they're probably trading on options, is my guess. I don't know. That's how people make lots of money in a short time. It's very risky. It is possible to lose a lot in a short time too. I don't know. I seriously doubt that either they're lucky and they're going to lose a lot of money soon, because it will happen, or maybe they actually have a lot more skill than you think. That's also possible. They might have a lot of skill that you just don't know. Okay, Sugar Shock says, what about at-home opportunities? Like home businesses? Yes, it's a great idea. Any ideas what's out there? Just joined. Well, again, like you could be a freelancer at home. A lot of freelancers work at home. What's a freelancer? Like, for example, like a web designer. You can work for a company doing internet design, website design. Or you can be a freelancer where you're independent and you just take jobs. There's a lot of websites where you sign up and somebody will hire you. They pay you. You design their website. Then somebody else hires you. You design their website, right? And you just keep getting these jobs from lots of different people. You're independent, right? You're not working for just one company. That's called a freelancer. And a lot of those people work at home. So yes, there are many ways to work at home. Okay, let me jump down a little bit. Mohammed Al-Mansab says, AJ, I enjoy your talk, not only for English, but also you're such a thinker. You talk in a reasonable way. Thank you. Yeah, Ilana Khan says, hoping for the best, preparing for the worst. True for this topic also. Yeah, it's just good general life mindset. True indeed. Hey, Sarah, good to see you. It's not the regular time. True. I'm kind of early because I've got babies sleeping. I decided to do it now because probably tonight I won't be able to do it. Yes, I know about the Kale Anders guy. We're looking into it. We'll take legal action against that guy. It just takes time for the legal action. We're researching, getting information now. He's ripping people off. He's charging 5 times more for my lessons, stealing my lessons. But we'll get him. Don't worry. Just takes time. Oh, Khalid Alawad says, I also recommend your pronunciation course. It's a really great course, very helpful for students like me. Thank you. 2 of you enjoying the pronunciation course. Okay, Amir says, can you please have a show talking for people who are interested in real-world businesses, not online? These are often called, I'll give you a phrase in English, brick and mortar. Brick and mortar means like a physical business. It means brick is like you build a building, right? Like a restaurant. That's not an online business. It's a brick and mortar business. And how to succeed in that area. Yes. I can't. Now, well, you have to understand that any businesses, many businesses are certain things are specific, right? Like I don't know anything about running a restaurant. I don't know the specific details. How would you run a restaurant? I have no idea. But there are also general business strategies, principles that work for most, maybe all small businesses. So I don't know anything about restaurants specifically, but I know about marketing. So I certainly could have ideas about how would you market a restaurant. But how to specifically, make the food great and decorate the place, I don't know. So I can give general advice. Oh, Sugarstock saying, looking for more ideas. You should get on some websites, like freelancer websites. If you're looking for ideas of what can you do, like working at home. Well, go on some of these websites, like Fiverr. There's one, Fiverr, Fiverr.com, Fiverr. There are many others. And just look at what are people offering. What kind of services are people offering? Most of those people work from home. It's not just web design. There's a huge number of things people are doing. Alamana Lee says, I'm 21 years old. I'm curious to start a firm business. However, I don't have sufficient money to open a business. What do you recommend for me to start? Firm business. What, are you talking about like a law firm or accounting or something like that, like a professional services? So again, services I would recommend. If you don't have much money to start, some kind of service instead of a product. Products, not always, but products, I kind of generally think products can be more expensive. And of course, avoid things like restaurants, anything where you have to buy a lot of equipment and rent a big space. Pretty much avoid those because that requires money. But services, especially services where you go to the customer, or you can do it at home. Those you can do starting with basically nothing. So that's what I'd recommend as a general idea. Okay, let's see. Muhammad Comedy, buy a small flat and get a good lease. Sacrifice savings. Oh, buy a big flat in a good place. Pay with all your savings. And when you finish, sell it. Which are your you're talking about real estate, how to make money in real estate. I would not use up all your savings. It's a big risk. Big risk. I would be conservative. Don't try to make all your money at one time. Don't try to make a huge amount of money in one deal. Right? Risking everything. That's gambling, and you're probably going to lose. Okay? So it's better to manage your risk. I would go with the first choice. Buy a small flat. And if you're trying to like buy something and then sell it again to make money, start small. If you're just starting, if it's your first time, don't try to go with a huge big deal. It's crazy because you don't know what you're doing really. You're going to learn as you go. You'll get better as you do more deals. So I would not risk, don't risk all your savings in your very first deal, because what if it fails? What if you lose money? All your savings are gone. Now you're out of business, right? Do something small. If it fails, then you can try again. Learn from your failure. You still have some money. You can try another deal. Start small, and then build up gradually as you get better. That's my advice. Yes, Marco, I know. I just talked about your comment. We'll get him. Don't worry. Oh, cool. Graciela Arevalo says, greetings from El Salvador. I have put in practice your suggestions. Now I'm able to get income from my little own business and also save up money. Thank you. Lots of love to you. That makes me feel great to read that. Really good. Great. Keep going. Now you got a little more. You can use some of that. Maybe start something else or improve the one you have now and kind of gradually grow. This is really great. Tutor or private teachers make money, says Lena. That's a great idea. That's another one you can do with basically no money to start, being some kind of tutor if you have a skill that some people want to learn. Mr. Said, I'm not. You guys are using the phrase firm businesses, and I don't think I understand this phrase. I don't know if this is a British phrase or something else, but I don't know what it means. What do you mean by a firm business? When you say firm? See, in American English, when we say firm, this is a word we use for kind of a certain type of business. It tends to be professional, what are called professional services, like accountants, lawyers. Really, those are the two most common ones. So we might say an accounting firm. It's an accounting company. We would say a law firm, a law company. So when you're talking about a firm business, I'm not sure what you mean by that. Are you talking about just a corporation? You want to start your own corporation? Anyway, if you could explain that phrase to me, I will try to answer your question. It's not really an American phrase. Be Smart says, if you don't find a way to make money while you sleep, you'll work until you die. Yeah, do I agree with that? Yeah, more or less I agree with it, but it's also true a lot of people just don't want to do that. I've learned that a lot of people just don't want to do that. So it's okay. There are other ways to do it. Oh, okay. You just mean to start a business. Okay, got it. It just means to start a business. Got it. How can a teacher start a business? Yeah, of course. I'm a teacher. I started a business. Yes. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter what your education is. Education pretty much is pointless. It doesn't matter at all when you start a business, your education, unless you're doing something very technical. Anybody from lots of people have gotten very rich. Lots of very successful business people had very little education, school education, very little. It's not necessary. Oh, Shinji, good to see you. Oh, yeah, that's right. Kinoko Oji. Oh, that's right. I was Kinoko Oji. Gotcha. Good to see you. Yes, I remember you. Turkey says, buy a broken car, fix it, then sell it for double the price. If you're good at that, yes, you can do things like this. People do this with houses. They buy old, terrible houses very cheaply, and then they fix them, and then they sell them. Right? You could do it with a car. Actually, my brother-in-law does this as a hobby. So my sister's husband, he does it for fun. He doesn't really need the money, but he still, I think he makes money doing it. He buys old cars, he fixes them, makes them very nice, and then he sells them and makes some money from that. Ryan Vong says, hi from Vancouver. Good to see you. Good to see your live stream at this time. It's nighttime here when I have more time to focus. Very good. Welcome, Ryan. Good to see you. Thanks for being a supporting member. Kate Millen says, I'm starting a YouTube channel to make money. Can I do it? YouTube is not a business. Okay. So you need a business. What does that mean? Like, what is your business? What are you selling? Okay. YouTube's not a business. YouTube is a way to connect with people. It might support your business, but it's not a business itself. So if you're trying to make money just as a YouTuber, like entertaining and hoping people just give you money, I know some people make money doing that. I don't recommend it. It's kind of a crappy business. And then you're also a slave to YouTube. What if they get rid of you? What if they get rid of your account? Then you're dead, right? So you should I recommend having a real business. You can use YouTube as part of your business for sure, but don't depend on YouTube completely. There are lots of other ways to reach people, not just YouTube. YouTube is not reliable. Don't rely on YouTube to build your business. I don't. I'm on YouTube. It's kind of convenient, but if my YouTube is gone tomorrow, then I'll just jump to a different video site. It's no big deal. I already have several others, so I can just use one of my other channels. Khalid says, I hate working a job. I feel your pain. I am looking for something new. Well, I don't know. Try something different. Just try, don't just get out there and apply for a lot of different kinds of jobs. If you're looking for different jobs, try different things. Just try things. I have no idea what kind of job you might like. To be honest, when I was younger, I didn't know what kind of job I would like. I would imagine, I'm going to like this kind of job. I'd like it. And then I would actually try it, and I hated it. So, oh, well, that sucks. So then I would say, okay, maybe I'll try something else. And I'd try something else, and I'd hate that too. So you have to actually try things, right? There's many jobs I find, maybe just many things in life, the idea is better than the reality, right? Like, I'll give an example, like being a doctor. Like people, it's sort of this high status thing, being a doctor, a medical doctor. And so people say, I'll be a doctor, right? It sounds great. But then they go to medical school, and the reality is actually very hard, very, very, very tough, and maybe not great. Or being a lawyer, it can be the same thing. People, being a lawyer, that sounds great. It's not like TV, right? And they find the real job of being a lawyer maybe is boring for them. Anyway, this can happen a lot. So you have to actually try things. Jose, yes, I know. I've addressed the Cale Anders thing. Thank you guys for talking about it. We are researching him. We're going to take legal action, right? Already talking to lawyers about him. We just have to gather. It's a step-by-step process. First, we gather information. Then we'll go forward on the legal stuff. But he's cheating a lot of people really badly. But there's a lot of liars and cheaters out there, guys. Okay, I'll take a couple more. Let's see. Jamal says, in my country, we're still far from e-commerce. Okay, that's fine. What do you suggest as classic trade? Again, I'm not sure that phrase, classic trade, what you mean by that. Like how to sell? You can just you should do, if you're looking at like marketing and not online. You should research direct marketing. Very important, this word, direct direct marketing. Okay. You can use it for the internet, but you can also just use it for using the mail. You can use it using newspapers, magazines. Okay, these are still available. In fact, they're maybe getting cheaper now because a lot of these, a lot of newspapers and maybe not direct mail, but certainly magazines and newspapers, they're losing money, right? Because online is killing them. So you might actually be able to do some cheaper marketing in newspapers, in magazines, and some of those, old style ways but you still make money. You can still make a lot of money, possibly. So research it. Direct marketing. Direct marketing started before the internet. Turkey says insurance company is a wonderful way to start your own business. All right, you can be an agent. You can sell insurance. Yes, a lot of people do this kind of independently. I've seen companies get a lot of money from this. Yep, you can do that. Wam says there are some people who are very qualified but get less money from an education, I guess. And others gain a lot of money, but low qualifications. Right, because the qualifications don't matter. Not really. It's not your degree. Your degree from college, or university, or if your last one. It doesn't matter. That's not how you make money. People who are good at marketing, people who are good at sales, people who are good at business will make money. People who are not make less money. It doesn't matter if one has a PhD and the other one doesn't, right? We can see this. A lot of people who became very rich. Robert Kiyosaki is a good example, but we can have lots of examples of people with very little education, but they made huge amounts of money. They don't teach you in school how to make money. You're not going to learn it in school, not even business school. Renat says, I remember you started doing mini stories back in 2008. Earlier than that. 2006 is when I started the business. Do you plan at that time to make money? Well, when I started the business, yes. I was doing mini stories before that. I was doing mini stories 2006, 2002, 2003 is when I started doing those. So when I very first started doing it, I was just working in schools and teaching. No, I was not thinking about making money. When I started the business, obviously I was. Okay. Benson Jose, good to see you. Times change, yes, just because of babies right now. Tada says, I studied dance and theater. We have to spend money to be able to play in the theater with my company. Wow, you're paying money to be in the play. Art is a difficult way to make money. It can be. if you're selling it, you've got to really learn about marketing. I don't know specifically art. It does seem like a hard business. Okay, I think we're about finished. Let's see. Mohammad Reza says, why do we need money? Well, I don't know. Maybe you don't. To participate in the economy, you need money, right? So if you're renting where you live, if you're buying your food, you need money, obviously. If you have your own land and you grow your own food and you live like a monk, maybe you don't need money. I don't know. But most people need it. Some, at least. All right, that's it, guys. Great. So anyway, I hope this was helpful. To just as a quick summary, get aggressive. Don't be afraid. Okay, be aggressive, because a lot of people get kind of paralyzed. Right, it means they can't move. They can't move because when we have like a tough time or a scary time, like now with money and the economy, it's easy to just get worried and not do anything. You want to do the opposite. You want to just take a huge amount of action, get very aggressive, send out 20 letters with resumes, this week. Even if you have a job still, especially if you have a job still, because think of it as insurance. Okay. And if you don't have a job, be even more aggressive. And think of 10 ideas for different small little businesses you could start now with no money. And try the first one, or try one of them, right? Just start taking lots of action and keep doing that. Keep taking those actions. And one great thing is when you take a lot of action like that, you'll notice the fear and the worry will start to drop in the short term. And then in the long term, eventually, something you try will be successful. Maybe not the first thing, but eventually something will be successful, and then you'll get another success, and then another, and long term, you'll be strong. Long term, you will have much more success in general. All right, lots of love to you all. Stay strong. Don't be afraid, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now.